Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sandbox stream. I'm Alex, and I'm joined by Joseph, our producer here. Hi, Joseph.
Hello. How are you?
Good. So we had some pretty awesome news today. So let's actually jump over to my desktop, and we've been hinting at this. And if you were watching really closely, you may have even caught this leak, but nobody was talking about it online, so I don't think anybody was really paying attention. Um, we signed Care Bears as our new partner on the Sandbox, which is super exciting to have a really big international IP. And I did the artwork. Woo! So we've been putting this together for a while now, and it's all been behind the scenes. And now finally we get to share this with you that the Care Bears are coming to the metaverse. So the there's several different things that means. This is kind of similar to our announcement with Shaun the Sheep and some of our other partners that they are getting land where they are going to have games that people can play using their characters, and there will also be NFTs that are part of the pre-sale that you can get. So in the pre-sale, there's going to be this is going to be like the last pre-sale where we had 6 legendary assets that would randomly you'd get a random one of those 6 legendaries for each premium land that you buy, along with an epic, rare, and common asset coming with that premium land. So we have not revealed the legendary artwork yet, so you can see that we've got the 5 common characters here, which is Grumpy Bear, Share Bear, Cheer Bear, Good Luck Bear, and Funshine Bear. So these will be part of the Sandbox game, but these are not the pre-sale legendaries, because we want these ones to be super accessible to everybody, because they're the most common and popular characters. So the legendaries are going to be announced a little bit later. We're still finalizing some details with those, so there's going to be extra special things for the legendaries and the epic, rare, and common assets associated with the pre-sale. So exciting news there, and it's really a exciting and big honor for me to be able to work on something like this. I'm like right in the mid range of millennial. I was born in 1989, so I'm like I kind of missed. I was too young for the initial wave of Care Bears. That was like the early and mid 80s, I think. And then when stuff started getting popular again, I was like too old for it at that point. But
Yeah.
and now they've got this new show, Unlock the Magic, which I think started last year, or the year before. I
Yep.
don't
2019. Yep.
2019. So does you've got a you've
I have a 10-year-old daughter.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably
Myself.
probably
And I
all
am
over
a
that.
little bit of an older millennial.
Yeah.
I was fully first wave Care Bears. So Alex and I obviously, as Alex was a designer and we have a little bit of insider information. We've known about this Care Bears information for a while,
Mm.
and I did a little research to find out some more information about Care Bears to help keep get people excited about how big of a launch this is. So, fun fact about the Care Bears: when it was originally launched, uh, between 1983 and 1987, during the first major run, over 40 million Care Bears toys were sold. It's an insane
Wow.
amount of Care Bears toys, right?
Yeah.
Those original Care Bear toys have recently sold at auction for as much as $10,000 for one.
Wow. That's
And
that's a lot.
that's extraordinary, right? And now we're living in a world here with NFTs, right? That these digital versions of those Care Bears could at some point, reach that same kind of appreciation,
Oh yeah.
maybe sooner than later, depending on the demand and the supply and all that, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like there's not going to be necessarily 40 million of those Care Bears in this NFT environment. So, the appreciation could happen faster.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing that's really cool about these is you're working with the kind of the newer series of Care Bears, right? Your art
Yep.
inspiration, is that based off of their 2020 toys?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, let me. Oh, the 2020 toys.
Yes.
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Let me see. So this image right here, this comes straight from their artwork. Let's see if it'll. The Windows image viewer is like so much worse than the old one, and
It
this is
is. It
this is.
really is.
I apologize on the. I have a higher resolution version of this. This is just the one that I saw on my
Oh
desktop,
yeah.
so
Okay.
it's
Okay.
really tiny.
So this
I'm
is the
working off
one
of
that.
better content than this, but
Right.
this is the same. I went with this is actually using our child template or small human is what we call it template, is
Sure.
what these are designed on. So when we do these bears, they're in that template lock. So as we add on new animations to everything, even after this stuff gets minted, they will continue to get new updated animations. So you're gonna see
Cool.
them being able to do all sorts of fun tricks as we add more animation features into the game maker. But yeah, this is taken straight from here.
Sure.
Um, So as far as the 2020 toys, not uh, I'm not in the loop on that. I mean, we probably could talk to them about doing stuff like that, but that hasn't been part of the conversation yet.
Sure.
So
Sure.
we
Well, to the credit of your creations, it's very similar, right? Like you have obviously got the television art, but I think that they're going to maintain their hype and their long-term interest in the community, especially with the younger kids, because the new interactive versions of the toys are kind of like, if you remember what a Furby was,
yeah.
as far as I could tell. Um, no, I don't know exactly. I haven't seen a live demo of it, but they're supposed to be one of the hottest 2020 holiday toys,
hmm
and that's right around the corner. So it's
There was
it's
a
great to
bear
have a
like that
partnership with
before.
them. Yeah.
There was a bear like that before. Somebody was talking to me about that the other day, and I don't remember what it was called. It was a talking bear. So let's actually watch the video real quick. Let me just
Yeah.
make sure the quality here is okay. We're good on that. Okay. So it's just 15 seconds. This is our little teaser.
Caring is the key to unlock the magic. Helping others care and share. It's magic. Unlock the magic.
So yeah, just really short, quick to the point. I love that theme song though because it's got that heavy 80s bass synth thing going on. It's totally my jam, and
Mhm.
there's like a little rap part in there. That's just the end of the theme song. The theme song's like a little bit over 30 seconds long, so it wasn't gonna fit with the amount of video that we wanted to show. There's like a little rap part in there, and I swear that the voice to me sounds just like the Lonely Island, which I don't think they're at all involved in this, but the tone of voice sounds exactly like I can't remember the actor's name from Lonely Island, but that made me crack up the first time I heard it. So I've been watching a lot of Care Bears the past couple weeks. And yes, we used the small human template, so they're gonna have all those animations, and yeah, so the legendary assets that we're going to be working on should also most likely be using that same template. So those legendaries are going to, I think, appreciate in value because they're going to they're going to get upgrades as we add on new animations to that template. So exciting stuff.
Yeah.
There's more cool stuff in the works, stuff that we can't talk about. But when we're talking about like something that's exciting brewing in the background, this is the kind of stuff we're talking about. So I've been sitting on this for weeks now, and it's great to finally be able to share that with everybody. And we can actually, like I said, you may have caught wind of this if you were paying real close attention to my inventory in the game maker, because I didn't have a good way to hide what I was working on, so I was always quickly trying to scroll away from them in the game maker. But we can actually show them today in the game maker.
Very cool.
So, now there is an issue with the giveaway today. We're still doing it. It's our giveaway tool for whatever reason will not let us log in right now. I think there's either an issue with the tool or with Twitch. So I am not sure what's going on with that. But if you can type !sand in the chat, we are going to roll a percentage die and see what see who wins. So I've got I'll have I'm not sure that we'll need actually a full. We'll probably get at least 20 people saying it because we've got 35 viewers right now. So I'm gonna roll roll 2 10-sided die here. I've got my percentage die, and then Joseph is going to very carefully count back through the comments and figure it out. So we're gonna give you guys a minute to finish saying sand over and over again, and please only say it once in the chat. Joseph is gonna skip over any duplicates in there, so it doesn't help you to keep saying it. It just is gonna make it more difficult for Joseph. So please don't do that. So today we planned on talking about behaviors. And actually, Luca asked if this is only on Twitch. So I guess this would not be exclusive to Twitch this time.
It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, if you're not on Twitch, make sure you contact Joseph through Twitter. He's at the Vision X, EX, not just the letter X. And
That's
make sure you, if you are the winner, reach out to him through Twitter, and get your Ether wallet to him that way. So I'm going to give you guys about 30 more seconds to put !sand in the chat so he can go through and count those entries. While I clean up this level a little bit, make sure that we're just having the intended behaviors here. Not that it really matters for what we're doing today. And let's put some bears in here.
All right.
So let's see, we've got these have been in here every single stream, and nobody said anything that I saw. So I think people either didn't catch it, or they weren't expecting it, or they just
I think most of the time you never made it all the way to the bottom.
They're in the middle. That's the problem. I've had to scroll past them. So because of the way our inventory system is set up, it's a little more complicated to delete things from inventories. So while I'm still like using things, I don't really have a way to hide them as I'm doing things like making that demo video, stuff like that.
Sure.
So I have to very quickly like flick past it, like, you saw nothing here. and nobody said a word. So I guess we won't count it as a leak. But if you go back through and watch the previous streams, you might see them pop up in my inventory every once in a while. So that's I'm glad the surprise got kept for everybody. So stop saying sand. Joseph
real
is
quick, just so that we're clear, in the interest of fairness, I notice you're rolling 2 dice.
Yep.
Does either of those dice have a 0?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
I've
The
got
dice that rolls on the leftmost portion of your desk, if it rolls 0, then that is 0, 1. Not 1, 0, okay?
We're counting 1 to 99, not... Wait, we're counting 1 to 100, not 0 to 99? Is that what you're saying?
Okay, we can do 0 to 99.
I don't... How about I just
No,
tell
0
you
to
what the
99
dice
is
say?
better. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. I didn't want Amara Curie to have 0% chance of winning. You know what I mean?
No. If it's a double 0 and a 1, that would be a 1.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it does. Mine does have a. Oh, I see what you mean. Because it has a 10 and not a 0, 0. I see what you mean. So yeah. We would count that as going up 1 to 99, and not that we have 99 entries because we only have 42 people watching.
Nonetheless, I just wanted to be fair to number 1.
Yeah. So it is a 0 and a 50. So I think I don't think
5, right?
Yeah.
Or...
So do we? That's more than the number of people we've got watching.
Yeah, we're not getting to 50. So, try rolling again.
Okay. We'll count anything under 45. I think is fair.
Yeah, that's fair right now.
All right, we got a 20 and an 8. So number 28.
Okay. And I'm going through the restream chat so I can include all platforms
Yep.
that type !sand right now. So it'll be
All
just
right.
a second.
All right, so Joseph is going to concentrate on that. Whoop, as I drop my dice all over the place. So yeah, these are based on the most recent Care Bear designs, and we are updating the. I think it might actually be ready, and I need to check it.
All
We have
right.
our animator. Oh, do we have a winner?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was
I'm gonna
fast.
put it here in the chat. Yeah, it's easy to count to 28. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I'm an artist. I don't understand these things. So
because
the
it
winner.
was on Twitch, I'm gonna go ahead and just put it here on Twitch. And if you could, I
Okay.
tagged you, Shahaksa.
Congratulations.
You could DM me here and with your ETH wallet address. Oh baby, yes, you won. And if you send that to me at the end of the stream, I will send you some of that beautiful sand. It's my turn, right?
So when we decided on doing these, I was like, we got to use the kid size template, the small human template, because that's what makes sense for them.
They look great.
And thank you. Yeah, they're gonna walk around. So we do have more plans for VoxEdit in the future. I'm not sure how quickly these features are going to come out, but we might start introducing things like and this is in the works. Maybe I can't promise that we're going to be able to do this, but we're looking at doing things like varying the facial features and to have reactive faces. So
cool.
that is that's something that our development team for VoxEdit and for the Game Maker are looking at introducing. There's other top priority tasks right now, like getting multiplayer working. So we may be able to start. Grumpy might be able to stick his tongue in every once in a while. That's there from the logo. So these are kind of like these are works in progress. These characters will get upgraded and collide with each other.
Oh yeah.
Instead of superimposing. Was it Steven Universe? They like merge. What do they call it when they merge characters together? So we're gonna have new animations on these also. So these will be playable as characters. Because right now, if you try to roll, you kind of teleport. You just do a little slide. They do have the punch, but you can hear the combos, which is not we're gonna limit that. So things like climbing a ladder, jumping and falling. Right now they just got the running animation. So the lead animator right now is already working on or has finished. I haven't checked today if he's finished or not. With adding in the jump, fall, and land animations and the dodge roll animation. I believe he's done with that one. So these will have the full mobility of a regular avatar. And the legendaries will be like that too. So exciting stuff. You're gonna get to run around as a cute bear, or do whatever with those when you put them in your game. And then there's going to be a Care Bear land. So there will be levels for that, which is something that is in progress. We're hoping for the December launch of the game player. I guess it would be beta, is what it says on the roadmap. I don't remember if it says game player beta or if it's game player alpha. It doesn't really matter. The public launch of being able to play the games. We expect that Care Bears will be there along with some of our other partners. So that is what is going on with that. So I think we're going to leave the team here, and there's going to be lots of different kind of games. It's not just going to be Care Bears. No worries about that. We've got lots of more, gruesome and exciting, stuff going on. You can, have them fight an imp or something. So today we wanted to talk about what the different kinds of behaviors are that we will have to work with in the game maker. So this is kind of like a tutorial stream. Not this isn't scripted or anything. You can ask whatever questions you want with it, but we're just gonna place down well, I guess we can do it with Imp here. He's gonna be our guinea pig for today. So we're gonna talk about what each kind of behavior is and kind of go through what they are. So let's see. Now you probably, anybody who's been watching, knows that up here we've got our transformation, so that determines our position and rotation, and we can customize the name, we can set visibility and stuff. So that's all pretty straightforward. If you watch the tutorials that I put up on YouTube, we go over that briefly, and it's pretty simple stuff there. Physics, we can change the way they collide. So either there's no collisions, you can go straight through everything. Collisions plus gravity, which means that you can have kind of ragdoll physics. Not ragdoll in that the limbs fly around, but just we can make like an object and kick it around and it'll tumble and rotate and stuff like that. And then we've got our attributes. So these are with the gems when we mint an asset, and these determine power levels for things that happen in the behavior. So you'll notice that if we go down to the behavior, we've got different gems displayed, and the power of these gems raises the max value possible for what's going on in the behavior. So let's look at the behaviors. We're just going to go through them in order. So the none behavior does not mean that an object will necessarily do nothing. It just means that it doesn't have a default set of what's going on. So kind of what's going on in the background that you can't see is that there's going to be visual scripting where you can kind of organize logic blocks, and that's further on down the roadmap. So a behavior is kind of like a preset organization of those logic blocks. So you can have things like an enemy or an ally. Having none means that there's no default behavior, but we can still do components. So we can have something that can be picked up or plays a sound, or will even like turn and look at the player and say something, even though it's more or less an inanimate object. So as we go through the behaviors, the first one is an ally fighter. Now some of these might be kind of like misnomers. Like by default, they're going to help you. So when we spawn an ally fighter using an asset spawner, it's going to try to help the avatar, but we can actually change who it's helping by going with our edit logic. So you can see that we've got the same, the edit logic, it just kind of unlocks more features. So we've got our basic features, and then edit logic has those same features along with more stuff. So tags to attack is really what it's going after. So there's no real difference between an ally and enemy fighter, except that you would change what the tag is. So an ally fighter is going after ground predators and enemies, or anything that has those tags. It defaults to having an NPC tag itself. So it is going to, by default, be helping the avatar because it's going after anything with the ground predator or the enemy tags. You can add more tags. You could have it attack the avatar. This would be your chaotic evil character that just attacks everything. We could say NPCs also. And this would make it aggressive to basically anybody. You can have it attack inanimate objects. You could say anything with the plant tag. It's going to attack, and you plant some trees around it. They have the plant tag, and it's just going to go and start chopping down trees. So you can really vary what the behavior is by setting what tags to attack it's going to have. Then we've got patrol zone. So you can set a 3D area that it can go in. So if we set up, a platform or something, it will be able to go up here. So if you have a whole area that you want it to go around, you kind of want to put it in the center of that area. And you could fence it off. Actually, you could make like an arena if you wanted it to be like an odd shape. Then the assets can't go through walls, So if you make it so that way it has a 2 meter height, it's a wall that it can't climb over. So you could set the patrol zone. Actually, I lined that up just right. You could set the patrol zone like this, and it won't be able to get out into this area because it's blocked by the walls. It'll just walk around within the area that it can. And it's not going to try to go outside of this blue box or its patrol zone. If you want it so that way it can't go up steps at all, then you would set the height to 1, and then it limits it to, or I guess 0, would it be? Yeah, you set it to 0, and that means there's no vertical movement. It won't go down or upstairs. Stairs being like a block like that.
Sure.
So yeah, you could even make it have like a patrol area that's really tight if you wanted like that kind of like just walk back and forth. Now it's not going to walk straight to one end and the other end, kind of that unrealistic Legend of Zelda sneaking through the garden to get to Zelda. I don't know if maybe I'm dating myself with an N64 reference. So that's he's not just gonna go straight to one end and then the other end. But he will walk around within this area. It's kind of an uneven patrol. Then you can set walk speed, run speed, his attack damage, his attack speed. So that's how many times he will attack, or the length between attacks, really. So you can, the higher the attack speed, the quicker he will do the next attack. So this value, I think, is partially determined by... Okay, it's the number of attacks done. And these tooltips are really helpful. It helps if I read them instead of just going off of experience. So the amount of attacks done per second. So if you do 0.75 attacks per second, it means it's going to take 5 seconds to do 4 attacks. Is my math right? That sounds right. And yeah, so the extra stuff, detection range, is determined by luck. So he will he's patrolling this area, but if he senses anything in this area, he will go out of his patrol to attack. So you have to kind of like visualize that this yellow will move with him. So as he goes on this blue path back and forth, that yellow, he will sense anybody in that yellow area. And they do tend to sense in front of them better. I'm not sure. It doesn't say here if they have like a cone vision or not. I haven't read the updated documentation on that part. And a lot of this stuff will be publicly available later. It's kind of in flux right now as things get developed. I'm pretty sure they sense more in the front than they do in the back, which just kind of makes sense. So it's whichever direction they're facing is where this yellow will allow them to detect. So you can make somebody that's super observant or super dumb, and then their attack range will be the distance that they can start initiating their attack. So if you're right here, they will start their attack and it could potentially hit you. You'd have to like roll out of the range or dodge the direction of the attack. So increasing that will mean they can hit you from further away. And random walk frequency, so you want to turn that up to defines how often your assets change direction while walking to your asset changes direction every 2 seconds. So that will you could you can't determine that it will necessarily walk in the right direction to go down this path. I was thinking you could set it so that way the length of time to get to one end or the other would mean that they kind of do the full path back and forth, but you're not going to know that they're necessarily going to turn that way because it is a random turn of direction. That's mostly it for the ally fighter. So if we look at the enemy fighter, is there one? There it is. We can see that, for one, the defaults are a lot bigger, and they do stuff like a chase zone. So it's slightly varied in how it's executed, but you can perform the same sort of functions. So the patrol range is determined by a circle instead of a cube, or a prism, I should say. So you can change that out like that. So enemy fighter, it's really kind of the same, but changed in the way it performs the specifics of its action. Patrol speed, chase speed, attack damage, those are all kind of similar to the ally fighter. Again, you can change this to be enemy. You can change it to be NPC. You can change it to be plant or whatever. They can attack anything that you want them to focus on. This really just changes the way they patrol, and things like their detection range and their chase zone and maximum distance to target to chase. So these guys will actually like pursue more than the other the ally fighters will. And then back speed, they will give up the chase, so they will return back to their patrol zone. Tags affected by attacks. So you can actually limit what they will be able to attack. So you want the tags to attack and tags affected by attack to be the same, or at least have this one included. Otherwise, it's going to attack the avatar and it's not going to do any damage. The reason you want to have this limited to avatar is if you do have, say you're trying to create a game like Minecraft and you set up some trees, and by default they might have the plant tag. These ones don't have it by default, but let's say you want to have the plant tag, or you have resources like mushrooms or something. Do these get the plant tag? I don't remember. Not by default, but let's just say you have resources that you want the player to be able to attack to damage and get rid of them. So you could break down a tree. It would drop some wood loot that you could use to complete a quest or construct some item, whatever the case may be. You don't want the enemy to be attacking the player and then damage the tree and then possibly like lose your objective because of that. So limiting their attacks to only hit the player, or the player and NPCs, or you could even do friendly fire damage. You could have it damage other enemies. You want to make sure that you're limiting it to only attack things that you want to have attacked by the enemy. So having health on trees may be useful for the player to, punch a tree down. Not so useful if the enemy can do it also. Do we have any questions so far? Anything that I should be talking about? Did I lose Joseph?
Nope, I just turned the game thing way down.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to interrupt.
No, it's okay. Any
questions
interesting
over
questions?
here on YouTube are pretty interesting. There was a suggestion, and I believe that this is already a thing because you have to work on this regularly, to have a market with many, it says millions, but I believe many free assets, not only assets made by players. Is it true that you're already working on some assets that users will be able to use in the game maker, or are those only going to be paid? That's a question that I would have to you.
So there's already basically everything that's in here is already free. I have some ones that aren't free because I bought them from the pre-sale, or it's showing ones that I made that would go on the marketplace. So like these vegetables I made, and they are part of they'll be part of the marketplace for sale. They're showing up in my inventory because I'm the one who uploaded them. So anybody who wants to make assets in VoxEdit and wants to put them in the game maker, they can do that for free if they want to publish their game to the metaverse. So that they would need to own land, and then they would need to mint the assets to be part of the land NFT. So the assets, the game 3D models, and the land that you make are both NFTs. And if I remember correctly, the these get kind of bundled into your land NFT when you publish it on the
Yes.
metaverse. So
Yes.
that's why these do have to be published for that. But you can make and play whatever you want. So as long as it's in closed alpha right now, but once you have access to the game maker and you have access to an artist account, I'm trying like this stair test, these tests, even like the Care Bears are stuff that I uploaded to my account to do testing purposes. So, I didn't have to, and nobody else would have to pay money to just upload this to their account and put it in their game. It's only once you want to publish it that the fees need to get paid for that. So you can make and play whatever you want. As far as sharing it with friends, they would need to put the stuff in their account also. So you can share a land to somebody, just the land file, and if it's made with all of the free assets that come with the game maker, and there's a whole bunch of them, that everything I'm scrolling through right now is free, and this is just the nature section, and there's dozens of assets in there. Anybody who makes a land with just the free assets that come with the game maker, they can share that land to anybody, and anybody could load it up and play it. It's only once you start introducing stuff from your account. So like the Care Bears that I uploaded to my account, you would need to share that VoxEdit file with them for them to put it in their account. It kind of becomes a complicated process.
Right.
So there are plans for doing more collaborative building experiences and things like that. So there's more stuff on the way for that. It's not all implemented, and we haven't necessarily figured out exactly how we want it to work yet. But there are lots of cool plans for the future, and there's going to be a lot of options for people who don't either can't afford or don't want to pay for certain things. There's going to be a lot of free options for stuff. As far as putting free items on the marketplace, the entire marketplace is blockchain powered, so there's gas fees involved with that. So the ability to publish an asset is, costs money to do that, to integrate it in with the blockchain, because every object has a unique asset ID. So I'm not entirely sure. Hi. I'm not entirely sure. I guess we're having little visitors again today. I lost my train of thought.
Sure.
Where was I?
Back to the point of free assets. So,
Oh, yes.
if you're trying to put your assets on the marketplace for other people to use, it can't be free because it has to be serialized, right? Given a unique
Right.
ID number for each one of the assets that you put on there. So even
Right.
if you wanted to give away 1 million assets, you would still have to process the transactions on a server somewhere to give those unique IDs out. So that process costs money, right? And in turn, having that cost money, you're not going to have it kind of given away in that sense. But if and to the point of gas fees, we are trying to have the marketplace have a level 2 or layer 2 integration system, meaning that all the transactions that can happen locally simultaneously would happen that way, so that gas fees can be reduced as much as possible. So that's part of the work that the web team is doing every day to try to make things better, easier, cheaper, faster for the community.
Right. Yeah. And I know the gas fees are high right now. I just I had to give somebody a sand fountain the other day, and it cost $12 just to send it to them. So when it was I think less than $1 before. So yeah, the hope is that with that layer 2 integration, that will be a much less expensive process. As far as pricing of the assets, I'm not entirely sure how rarity affects pricing directly. I believe there's going to be some option to let people set their own prices besides the rarity, but I can't confirm that 100%. I know you can set different quantities based on that rarity. So the very first pre-sale, there was a legendary item that had only one quantity, and it sold for I think $1,000. The legendary assets that we have now are using the max quantity of 200 because we've got a lot of people who are interested in getting them. There's, as far as how that affects the specific price and if you'd be able to reduce it to nothing or almost nothing, I'm not entirely sure. But common assets are not going to be very expensive at all anyway. Trying to think of the common. My properties thing is visually glitching right now. What's going on here? I'm trying to see what the if it tells me the quantities on common items. So yeah, the scarcity on common items by default is 12,000 copies. So even if you considered like a legendary of one item being $1,000 dividing, what's the math on that? 1,000 divided by 12,000 is 8 cents. So I don't know what the price of common items will be specifically. I think they were like $2 or something like that in the first and second pre-sale when we had asset pre-sales. I think it was only a couple dollars for the common items, which is comparable when you look at anything like Turbo Squid and Sketchfab, and you're looking for 3D assets to put in your game. I mean, there's lots that are way more expensive than a couple dollars, but the common are not going to be very expensive, and there's going to be a lot of options for that. Plus, just being able to create your own. I mean, that's really, you can create anything you want for free to use for personal use in your game. Making a game to publish and to monetize is normally going to cost something, when you use any sort of game making tool. So let's get back on track with behaviors. So we did ally fighter, and then we jumped over to enemy fighter to show kind of what the nuances are between those. Not a huge difference, just they behave slightly different, and by default their behaviors are opposite. One helps the player, one hurts the player. And that's for the purpose of when you use an asset spawner and you can't tweak all those little nuances in the asset spawner right now, which is actually the next one we have to talk about. So asset spawning, this one's improved greatly in 0.2. There were a lot of limitations on it before, and it can do a lot more now. So you can make them invisible if you want. Let's go with the basics first. Hide all that other stuff. So you can set them to invisible if you want, which will actually, it doesn't show that in the game maker. When you actually go to play, it'll not display them. So if it helps you, you can manually turn off that to make them invisible like that. But sometimes it's easier to find them when they're fully visible and just set it to invisible on here. And that way you can have spawners all over the place doing whatever you need them to do, and you don't have to worry about the characters or the players seeing them or interacting with them. You can turn off collision for them. Then you pick the asset that you want, and this opens up your whole library. So any item in your library can be spawned. And we'll just set it to none for now. And then you can set a basic behavior. So like I said, you don't have the ability to tweak all the settings on these right now. So if you pick an ally fighter, they're going to help the avatar. If you pick an enemy fighter, they're going to attack the avatar. And that keeps things simple for now. In the future, you will have more options to unlock, or not unlock, but to modify the specific settings. So you can increase or decrease damage and set the tags of how it's going to interact. So what we got in 0.2 is that the logic options are a lot more advanced now. So you can set tags on what's being spawned. So if you were watching us last week, I believe, and the week before that was when we were doing that coin collecting game. We spawned the coins with a coin tag, so that way we were able to have the skeletons chase after them and collect them, and I don't think we fixed that. It didn't quite work. But that was, I think, unrelated to this part of it. Hey, Science. Good to see you back. I haven't seen your name on here in a while, but I haven't been looking at the chat as closely with Joseph to help. So yeah, these tags will help us to determine how other my daughter's over there dropping stuff. The tags will help determine how other entities interact with the spawned entity. So if you have, say, an automatic door that opens when a character gets near it, well, you can put whatever tag is needed to make that happen when they're spawned. Spawn offset determines globally. Did we determine it was globally? I think we determined it was globally. The offset from the spawner. So sometimes you might want a spawner in one spot and you want the item it's spawning to be a further distance away. Usually that's because when assets are spawned, they're spawned right here on the origin. So if you wanted this guy to spawn minions, you don't want them standing right underneath him in the middle of his feet. You want it to be spawned off to the side or in front of him or behind him. So that offset moves that position. But the coordinates are based on the global coordinates of X, Y, and Z in the game maker, not based on his local coordinates. So if you rotate him, that doesn't rotate the X position. Spawn delay is how frequently it can spawn. So you can have a message be sent to tell this guy to spawn, but he will only spawn it as quickly as the delay allows. So he will spawn every 1 second. Our message might broadcast every half second, but it will only spawn every 1 second. That can help you if you've got the same message controlling multiple things. You could have waves of enemies be spawned every 5 seconds, but you might want harder enemies spawned only every 10 seconds or every 15 seconds. So you increase the delay on them. So even though they receive that message, they ignore it until their delay is done. Components and physics type were the two biggest hallelujahs to things that got added in 0.2 for spawners, because now we can tell them to have a collectible, meaning that so the coins, when we spawn them, we said they're a collectible. The player can run up to them and they'll end up in the inventory. We can set them to play sounds. We can set all sorts of stuff on there. I mean, we can. The issue that we were having before is we were spawning items and then they would have their basic behavior, but we couldn't do anything more complicated with them. So being able to set the components, specifically the collectible, is probably the biggest one. You could also have defeat be a component. So if you're spawning, say, like missiles or asteroids or something that's like falling and crashing onto the player, you could have it so that way if the player touches it, they're defeated. It ends the game. They got damaged through it. And then physics type, we can set the collision, no collision, or collision plus gravity. Collision plus gravity is, of course, my favorite, because then you've got your crazy physics going on all over the place. If you've been watching the stream for a few months, you might remember I did a game that was raining asteroids, or like just big rocks down on the ground from a cloud. And I set up this whole ridiculous like pneumatic press system that would launch them into the air and kind of randomize them. But I had to manually create and change the gravity settings on every single one of like 300 rocks. And it was awful. So this would allow me to create falling rocks that already have the physics applied to them. So that would have been I should have waited like 3 months to make that game, but it's okay. Now I can recreate that whole game in a matter of minutes instead of the hours that it took to initially made it. So that was a great improvement. Avatar. Oh, yep, we got a question.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'm answering a few questions, but
Okay.
I have a question for you, Alex.
Sure. Yeah.
Can we have a look at Gato's asset that he linked in the chat a little while ago?
Oh, sure. Let me.
Because I want to see this. It's a little secrety surprise
Ooh.
for any adventurer.
I'm wondering what it's gonna be.
It's a classic Dungeons and Dragons trope.
You know, I think I already have this. I know what it is because I saw the URL. I think I already put it in my inventory because I wanted to show it. Oh, shows the correct.
Might be.
Toby? Was it Toby's asset? It dances. All right. I didn't mean to put more than one. Get out of here. So.
I don't know if I'd want to walk up to a dancing treasure chest.
Well, it's okay. We're an imp, so we should be okay. And well, let's see what happens.
Interesting.
So okay, yeah, no, that's slightly terrifying. Oh, well, okay.
Oh,
faked
geez,
me out.
It's already. I see it in the time with the chat here, and it's coming right for you. Look at that. That's great. Does it attack?
It has attacks. I can't attack it. I'm too tall.
can't
I'm too tall.
jump on a Care Bear to get back in. Oh no, you're too tall to get. You need a sword? You don't have a sword. You only have a punch.
Yeah. Let's see. We need a different avatar.
Yeah.
Let's see who we got here.
Take a Care Bear. Do it with a Care Bear. They're short.
They are short, but they can't hold a sword either.
Oh.
At least not yet. Let's see. I think this one will hold a sword.
They would attack over the head.
I didn't set it as an avatar. We can have Dojira fight it, but Dojira can't fight either. Well, I mean, he can't. He has the animations. So right now, there's a limitation with the swords that they will only go with the medium human template. So that will probably be improved upon later. But the reasoning is that we're putting the sword in the hand, so it actually senses which node is the hand. So it's looking for this whole arm as a node tree. So it's a little complicated. It's just the very technical way that it works out right now. So, it climbed up. What you gonna do? So I would tweak the behavior a little bit. Wow. There we go. So let's see if we can do. Let's modify its behaviors a little bit so that way it kind of waits for the player instead of running right up right away. So if we set it to be so we can set a slightly smaller chase zone. Detection range should be very small because we want to get right next to it before it
While
does
Alex
something.
is working on this, if you can hear, somebody read my mind in the chat, by the way. If you can hear me right now and you type !sand, we're going to start the second random dice roll. We'll have to do it on dice right now. The function is broken at this moment. Whatever service provider gives us the ability to do those contests, it's not logging in properly at this time. So for now, type !sand in the chat. Doesn't matter what platform you're on. If you're on YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, anywhere in the world right now. If I can see you on Restream, I will be able to count you.
So we're setting the walk speed to 0. So it will not walk around. And let's see. We might actually not set it as a ground predator, and we might set it as a different different kind of enemy type. Let's see here. So it should just kind of sit there, and it'll turn directions. So I think we can maybe change the random turn speed. And thank you for the reminder about the giveaway. When I start talking about the game maker functions, I kind of lose track of time.
It's all good. Oh, you're still a bit too tall.
Yeah.
You hit it every once in a while.
We can try it as a Care Bear. Care Bear versus Mimic. So let's try changing this to an enemy fighter.
You should make the third attack of a Care Bear the Care Bear stare. If you're not doing that, you know.
We could do combos. we might want the Care Bear stare to be like a specific. Well, they call them belly powers now, I think. I'm not sure if that's.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Care Bear
makes sense.
stare is still the official terminology.
You hear that, chat? Alex is calling me old.
Well, I'm saying you should know better if your daughter watches the show.
No, she watched She-Ra, which, by the way, is my vote for our next partner. I don't know if that's in the works, but Sebastian, get on it.
I'm saying, Sebastian, you're French. A bunch of the team is French. You should go with Ladybug and Cat Noir.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I've seen that show. That's not bad.
Takes place in Paris. You know, has a whole
There you
bunch of unique characters. Let's see.
All right.
And
So we'll give it another 30 seconds if you haven't typed ! Sand.
Yes, in your house. I said that in your house. My daughter's getting excited because I said Ladybug and Cat Noir.
Nice.
All right, so patrol range, let's set that to 0, patrol speed 0. We'll leave the chase speed, attack damage on. Detection range way down there. And chase zone, that chase zone is huge. Let's go with 5.
Oh, it is huge.
It will follow you to the ends of the earth. That's like that piano in Super Mario 64 in the haunted house.
Lord.
That anybody else traumatized by that as a child?
It's funny because you said Mario and I wasn't even. You said piano, you said Mario. I thought the sun in Super Mario Brothers 3 because again I'm older.
That's 2.
And no. Super Mario Brothers 2 was the dumb one that nobody liked, where you could play as.
I liked it.
Oh.
I liked it, but that's where the sun chases you, and it's a mask that chases you.
Yeah, that's
right. It's a mask that chases you in 2, and it is a sun in 3. You're right.
Yeah. It's a struggle, being old. I get it.
It's also a struggle being right all the time. You gotta make sure you correct yourself really fast.
I'm not familiar with that. Trust me, you have no idea how many, all the info. I keep it on my screens all the time. Okay, so we want to do a roll for that?
Yeah, we're doing a roll, and anything under 60, I guess, because we got 60 viewers right now. I don't know if they're all participating, but
fair enough.
All right. You want to do it? Well, I just rolled them. You can do the last roll. Okay. All right, it's 34.
All right, so I'm scrolling on up. Here we go.
It's not yet. I'll let you know. You go back to coloring. Okay, so the piano in Mario, when it is kind of like a mimic. You go up to it like a piano and just chomp 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 chomp. So that's what we've got going on here. But at least that one stops. This one would chase you around the entire map. Let's see. Patrol speed, chase speed, attack damage. All right. I'm not sure. With the patrol range set to 0 and the patrol speed set to 0, I'm not sure if it's going to still turn randomly or not. We'll see what happens here.
Okay. All right. I'm going to double check this because one user submitted their ! Sand twice. I'm going to double check my count.
I
to
said,
make sure that I didn't see any other duplicates.
maybe I need more of a detection range.
Boy. Okay. Yeah. Great. Awesome. So
Winner
this is a
is.
familiar name.
Uh-oh.
Haha. All right.
Oh, okay. Wasn't who I thought it was.
Who'd you think it was, Clankers?
Yeah. So in case I don't think we said what the giveaway was this time, so some people might have missed it from the beginning of the show. We're giving away 100 sand tokens with each giveaway. So we do 3 giveaways per episode or per stream episode. We're not counting these. And so everybody who wins gets 100 sand, and then of the 3 winners, we do a final dice roll to figure out which one of them gets an NFT. And I think I am down to I'm trying really hard to get Wizzy minted as our new exclusive giveaway NFT, but I think today we didn't specify that it was the sand fountain. I've actually got different. I've got some first assets, which I have a couple extra of. So you might actually get a chance at a first pre-sale asset, but we'll check out open I have to give away. So this guy didn't seem to notice me, and it might be because his patrol speed is set to nothing, or I might be missing the avatar bear. So let's see. Let's increase the detection range just a little bit. And let's see if this has the avatar tag on it. And it does not. So that's actually probably because their default behavior. Well, the default behavior on this one's avatar too, so I'm not sure what's up with that. But we now have an avatar tag. So the patrol works for not having it rotate. It just kind of dances there, which I think is actually kind of adorable. It's like super cute. It's like, oh, it's a little dancing treasure chest. It must be something special inside. And then it goes, no. Oh, it didn't. Its attack isn't animating, not as a predator. We may need to tweak some stuff. So right now the animations are going off of defaults. So when you have an attack or a chase or a flee or anything like that, the animations are kind of hard coded into the behaviors right now because we're still in alpha. So eventually you should be able to set the specific animations. So you can set an idle, you can set which attack does what. So that's what we're looking on later on down the road, though. So anyways, I love this asset. I think Toby is actually one of our newer artists. He joined, I think, in July. I think July was his first month, and
Sure.
And he's already showing he's got really great skills. He's got a whole ton of really great assets. He's one of our top artists. So thank you, Toby, for that. Thank you, Camilla, for reminding me to pull it up today, because I put a whole bunch of stuff in my inventory for working on the Saturday stream fantasy world, and I wasn't going to pull it up today, but now you guys got to see it too.
Right. So can I ask you to show something?
Yeah,
Just in the
what's up?
interest of awesome.
Okay.
So we had other announcements this week as well. While the Care
What
Bears
did I
is
miss?
amazing,
Yeah.
we officially announced the dates for the upcoming land presale for round 2.
Oh, okay.
Which is a multi-day event.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Is that on Medium, or is that?
It is on Medium.
I missed that somehow.
It was just yesterday. And you were so busy.
I was very focused on Care Bears.
Yeah.
That video that we watched, that 15-second clip, was finished yesterday. So that's
very good. Very
yeah,
good. So just right there on the left.
So September 15th at 11 a.m. GMT. So I think GMT is 5 hours ahead of me. What am I? What's Eastern
it's
time?
5 hours ahead of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is actually kind of early in the morning for me. It'd be 6 a.m.
Hmm.
But
It's going to be real early for me because I got to be there for the community management aspects at 3 in the morning my time.
but it's selling in waves though. So
That's right.
it's going over 4 days, and they're changing the times each day. So the last one would be at noon for me.
Yep.
So that's actually pretty cool that they're releasing in stages. So more people around the world, it'll be at a reasonable time for you to get involved. BDJ Sync has had a question about how we think gas fees will affect round 2, and it's all in sand, so I don't know how gas fees affects that.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that we can do as not web developers is kind of speculate on that.
Yeah.
I don't have the true answer, but I would if it was just me personally taking a guess, not as a Sandbox rep, I would say that the cost of gas should be cheaper. You're looking at in the Moon sale, which had kind of comparable sizes to these waves, all of the land sold out within 5 minutes for every wave, every time. So I would expect that on each of these 4 days, all the land is going to sell out within 5 minutes. So it'll probably, if the layer 2 integration is done, it will probably all go out as one transaction on chain, and the gas fees could be way cheaper because of that. However, there's no guarantee because I don't know exactly how the technology works at this point. So
yeah, and we're not 100% sure that the layer 2 is going to be ready in time for that. So
at the worst, it's exactly like the last land sale where it wasn't all that prohibitive. Right now, ETH is actually the gas fees are a lot less than yesterday. So hopefully, and I'm about to find out like within the next hour what all these gas fees are going to be as I send sand to every one of those folks who wins. So
right.
Roughly, I could give you an answer if you're on our Telegram or if you're on our Discord. I can give you my best guess as it comes up, like right before the sale. I usually say, hey, expect gas fees between $3, $7, $10 for your transaction, and I'll try to do that again as it gets close. So hopefully layer 2 is ready. I'm not totally sure. If I can get an answer on that, then again, I'll keep you updated on all of our socials. I tend to update people using my social or the Discord again or the Telegram. So if you're there, you'll know.
All right, so we're running out of time here. We're kind of running past time, so we only got done with the first couple behaviors. I had a feeling it would go like this because like I said, I lose track of time when I start talking about the behaviors and how to adjust them. There's a lot to dig into in here, and really the best way is if you can, if you're a landowner and you can get access to the game maker, best way is just to play with it. I mean, it's really this for me is like playing Minecraft or other games like that. I have a lot of fun tweaking the settings, figuring out what they're going to do, setting up things the way I want them to be. So a lot of this is just learning through experience process, and it's you don't really have to worry about there being syntax and code and learning weird stuff to try to figure out how to get those things to work. It's more like a puzzle. How do I get this character to be over here at the right time, and how can I set up these behaviors to do that? So a lot of them, I mean, I've been thinking like redstone mechanics. I mean, the things that people have done with redstone in Minecraft is incredible, and we've got between being able to parent objects to other objects, so you can have one behavior attached to another behavior. You can set a moving platform with a message broadcaster on it, and you can use that to trigger events in different places at different times. You can use that as like time delayed fuses, and introduce certain amounts of randomness. It's not really random. It'd be like deterministic unless you used a wandering NPC and attached something to the wandering NPC, and they're both invisible. You don't see them. So you got a random generator through that. So there's all sorts of stuff that you can do without like a true variable system or math functions. Already in what's here, you can make all sorts of interesting things happen. So we'll go over more of the behaviors next week, I guess. We'll keep going till we're through them all. And maybe by the time we're done with that, we'll be looking at 0.3. Who knows? So there's always going to be something new to learn for a while. But I definitely suggest, Joseph, if you wouldn't mind sharing in the chat the link to the Game Maker tutorials. I very briefly go over how you can combine those, and I think in total it's less than 15 minutes for all 5 videos. You can probably skip the first one because it's just about setting up your account and starting your first land. So if you're just interested in learning about placing blocks and assets and learning the behaviors and components and how they work together, it just very quickly goes over like a condensed version. And then here in the stream, we'll go into more detail. Eventually, I'll have time to do more tutorials, but right now we're busy with Care Bears and stuff. So check out that link in the chat. So yes, lots of exciting stuff going on with that. Let's do the last giveaway. So we're gonna have about a minute or two here to type !sand in the chat, and that will let us collect names of people who are interested in winning 100 sand and possibly an NFT. While we're doing that, I'm going to open up OpenSea here, and I'm sure that I've got some extra pre-sale 1 stuff. So I gotta sign into MetaMask here. So let's see, what do we have? I'm pretty sure I have multiple of these bomb tires, which I think were by Alina? I'm trying to remember who made these. Alina. It's one of our Creator Fund group leaders. Let's see how many I've got. I do have 2 of these. So the NFT that we'll be doing today is this bomb tire, which you could do as like a rolling enemy. I like putting them in as like little explosions, so they spawn, and they're a void asset when they spawn, and so they will delete any blocks that are around them and then destroy the player if the player is too close also. We did that in the dungeon that we put together on stream a couple months ago now. Time's really been flying this year. Like, summer's over, guys. Like, what happened?
Right? Yeah.
Like, wasn't it
There's
July?
Halloween products out in the stores, which is wild because, who's really Halloweening right now, but
Right.
it's party time, right?
Actually, that's if you guys want a leak, it's not it's not super secret, but I've got a leak for you. I can say it because I'm the one who made the decision.
Nice.
We're in the Creator Fund. We're working on Halloween assets right now, so hopefully we will have a whole bunch of cool stuff to show in October. I don't know if the marketplace is going to be open at that point for people to buy them right then, but at least we'll be able to spend a lot of time over October showing off all the cool stuff people have made. We've got plans for both like kind of like kid trick-or-treating stuff and also like actual like horror elements. So lots of cool stuff planned with that. So let me find the artist who did that. I think it was Alina, but I could be wrong. Let's see. It was, I don't know why it does that. It pulls up wrong. It was Alina. So Alina is one of our Creator Fund leaders. So you can see it's got an idle where it kind of rocks back and forth a little bit, and then it's got its spinning attack. It's cute. It's a cute and spiky dangerous. at the same time. So let's go ahead and roll that die. We've got an assistant here today. All right, so we've got 48 people watching. So we're going to say anything under 50, I think, will probably be fair. So,
Okay.
right, come here. Right, ready? You roll it on the desk. Yep, roll. There's one, and the other one. Both of them. Oop, it went way far back. Did it go? It went behind the desk.
Nice.
She rolled it all the way to the back of the desk, and I didn't hear it hit the ground, so I think it's stuck behind my desk. So we're gonna do a double roll on the one die. So it's a 2 is our single digit, and so we don't lose this one. I'm gonna do another roll, and a 3. So 32 is our number.
Okay, give me just a minute here. I'm going
Yep.
all the way back up.
So I see King asks, when will Sand show up instead of ETH and die at the Sandbox login? I am not sure how soon that will be updated. I am going to guess that it's going to be before the pre-sale. It will be updated because Sand is going to be the way to buy. So let's see. I don't think it's been updated past 24 hours. I know yesterday it was not 23, not 32. Well, it was already determined that was the first digit, and then we had to re-roll the second digit because we lost the die. Let's see. So yeah, it still shows Ethereum right now on the website, and Snakebox asks if the NPC characters are going to be able to walk inside the water or any liquid in the future. Can they not walk inside liquid right now? Because I know the avatar can. You know, somebody else was asking about that, and let's see. Water. So,
All right.
oh, do we have a winner?
Yep, I've tagged him in the chat. Yander Dev again. Yonder? Yonder?
Yandere Dev.
Yandere Dev.
I don't know. I don't know if you know what that is. I know what that is.
I love it. Okay, so yep, you got it.
So let's see if we can make an NPC walk in water. This is not something that I've tested. I've put fish in the water before. And if you set the fish to be a bird, they will, swim in a circle, but I've never tried it with a NPC. And I guess maybe maybe they consider the water to be a solid block, which could be a glitch. So they should maybe they think they're colliding, because the avatar can definitely go in there. There will be, one of the things we might be waiting for is proper water physics, because right now the water doesn't have any flow to it. It's just like any other block. So it's oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Nobody knows what I'm talking about because I'm not showing my desktop. So yeah, it does look like NPCs do not realize that they can walk through that block, and I don't think turning off their collision will fix that. If it does, then they would just walk straight through the walls also. So yeah, I think the NPC is recognizing the water as a solid block instead of as a fluid. So yeah, that's definitely a glitch to bring up with the dev team. Make sure they get that fixed. And what I was trying to say is that they might be they're reworking how water works, because right now water has no flow. So the fluids like water and lava are just like a solid block that you can place anywhere. In fact, I think I left a pocket of air down there. Yeah. So that's air under the water. There's no flow out from that. What I saw somebody suggest, somebody did bring this up before, and I saw what their solution was. I hadn't tested it myself, so I wasn't able to confirm anything. They suggested making a layer of air underneath. Obviously, that's not going to work in every situation. It's going to be based on the height, whether or not it looks like they're walking on the ground going through the water. But if you have them swimming, then I guess it doesn't matter as much. So you could also, it would be kind of silly. You could put the NPC behavior on something in a pocket underground. I'm coming up with like hacks around this, which are just kind of silly solutions for a problem that should get fixed in the future anyway. So I'm not gonna explain my whole idea, which is kind of ridiculous. It would be something that I would do to make like a demo to kind of hide the limitation, but I wouldn't worry about trying to practice it. Sorry, my throat got really dry there all of a sudden. So I should probably stop talking soon.
Oh, everyone loves it.
So let's see. Were there any other good questions? The new Bears immune? No, they're not, and they won't be. They'll still have a death animation. So if we can go and pick a fight, and well, these ones might not have health right now. I don't think they have health on them. You can make them immune. You can tell them to not have a health. Yeah, there's no. Oh no, they do have a health component. I was just having trouble hitting them, I guess. Let's see. So they're going to be able to perform all the same functions as the other characters. So the small Gatto. Did you saw what I was wearing?
Yep. I noticed it way earlier, right?
You can get those on Voxel voxelfox.shop is where you can get those. I'm probably gonna shrink. This was a test one I made for myself, and it's the logo's too big, I think, because it goes like all the way to my armpits, and I want a little bit smaller, but they are for sale there if you want one of those, different sizes. So what was I saying? Yeah, so Care Bears, I mean, if you watch the shows and stuff, they can get hurt. They have enemies that they have to deal with and stuff. So it's not, it's not like Teletubbies or, Sesame Street where there's no, getting damaged or anything like that. It's both Care Bears and other shows like My Little Pony and stuff. There's, light apparel, as it might be described on like a ESRB rating or something like that. So yeah, you're gonna encounter enemies and obstacles and stuff. I mean, even in the logo, which I pulled up earlier, I think I exited the thing. Here it is. Tinky Winky. Even in the logo, Funshine Bear is punching. So I mean, like, it's like an established in canon thing that there might be a fight. So the Care Bears, as our partner, they're fully aware that this is a user generated content game. And yes, Care Bears do have the one that came out last year. They're the name just escaped me. What are they called? They're like the Bad News Gang or something like that. So yeah, there is actually like a plot where the Care Bears are trying to they're trying to make the forest happy, and the enemies, their enemies, and this is like a long standing, like hundreds of years kind of enemy, is trying to bring destruction and sadness to the forest. So
and
it's
a bit of an issue with the video feed right now.
Oh, am I glitching up here?
I don't know if if they can still hear us or not. Can you hear?
I don't know.
I can't hear us. What? Oh,
Oh no. We talked too much. I should have cut the stream.
oh yeah, we're like 25 minutes over.
Yeah. I mean, I do like hour to hour and a half is like kind of a
No,
loose
it's good. It's
restriction.
Good. I mean, you know,
I don't, oh,
okay,
my
well,
wife's watching somebody else's stream. That might be
You wanna-
why.
are we
I
good?
think we're.
It looks like we're back.
Are we back? Are we back?
Yeah, I mean, I see, but it's a lot in the past.
Is it catching
Let
up?
me refresh. I'm gonna refresh and see how far.
Hi, three halflings
Okay.
in a trench coat. Yeah, I'm not sure how far back the stream is delayed here, but yeah, I'm a artist and a content designer, so I help manage the creator fund. So we've got about like 45 artists or so that I help manage them along with Gattostado in the chat there. He's another one of our managers. So we keep the artists busy doing stuff, and we make stuff also. A lot of the stuff you see on stream, I make. All the Care Bears stuff that I showed today is stuff that I made, and I wouldn't really call myself a dev. I'm like a level designer, so I'm not doing any coding. I am putting together levels with the artwork that we make. Yes, you are. Yeah, I under the general umbrella of developer. Yes, I'm a developer with the Sandbox. I'm not a coder. I would specify that they do stuff that I don't comprehend. So yeah, they put together the tools that I use to make the stuff you see on your screen. And yeah, so yeah, Care Bears they do get involved with peril and stuff like that. So that's the fact that they can take damage and get knocked down. I don't know if in the Care Bear games that we're making, I don't know to what extent they'll get hurt. But that's going to be up to them how they want to design that game. But they're fully aware it's a user generated content game. People are going to be buying Care Bear things to put in their games, and yeah, you could put a Care Bear in a spooky dungeon, or put them in some space war or whatever you want to do with your assets, because that's what happens when you buy those things. You can make whatever you want with it. So yeah. All right, so I'm officially
Cool.
the community has officially given me the title of a game developer.
That's right.
I
Take the sword
I can claim
on
that
each
now.
shoulder. You've been knighted.
So we've got one last dice roll that we didn't do, and it's who is getting the
I think
bomb
did we,
NFT.
Did, I,
we we did
one
not.
out of the three to get the NFT,
Yeah,
right?
we didn't do that. Felicity,
Okay.
you wanna do one more? No, thank you. She doesn't want to do it now. We got something going on in the background there. And it is a 2. So I always say the rules, so this is the same rules from the previous times, and I forgot to say it before, but it's the same rules. 1 and 2 is the first winner, 3 and 4 is the second winner, and 5 and 6 are the third winner, just because I don't have a 3-sided die. So 2 means that the first person who won is going to be getting one of these assets from the very first pre-sale that happened. Was it almost a year ago now? When that I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, gosh. Well, no.
It was like October.
Yeah.
I don't
the
remember.
bomb tire was sold way before, even before I bought my first land. The bomb tire was on the marketplace. So.
These are ancient history assets. So these are going to be hard to find in the future, because there's not as many people who are going to have them. So congratulations, and I will be sending that out right after the stream here. I'm sorry we went so long, but I think we talked about some fun stuff. And we will continue on next Wednesday going through the behaviors and what they all do. And Saturday, we're going to keep working with Wizzy and the Magical Kingdom that we're working on. Maybe we'll do some more level design stuff there, and hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe our first Wizzy giveaway. Maybe. Alex says, God, I wouldn't claim that, but thank you, Clankers. So anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope that that you have a lovely rest of your week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I guess Bill and Ted just came out, so be excellent to each other. And we will see you on Saturday. Have a good one.
All right, bye.